Marcus didn't sleep. He couldn't. Every time he closed his eyes, he saw Agent Foster's face. Calm, knowing, like she'd been waiting her whole career for someone exactly like him. At 3 in the morning, he gave up trying. He sat on the edge of the motel bed, scrolling through his phone. The video had hit 500,000 shares. The comments kept coming. Thousands of them. Most were angry. Some were celebrating. A few were supportive, but those got drowned out fast. Another bad cop exposed. This is systemic. One officer. There's thousands like him. Hope he loses his pension. Hope he loses more than that. The hashtag had evolved. Now it wasn't just #badgenumber347. There was hashtag justice for Diana Foster. Hashtag Riverside PD accountability. Hashtag end police brutality. And underneath it all, people were digging. Finding everything. Old social media posts. Photos from police events. A comment he'd made on a news article 3 years ago about criminals hiding in plain sight. They were building a profile. Painting a picture. And Marcus barely recognized the person they were describing. His phone buzzed. 4 a.m. A call from his brother, Danny. "You awake?" Danny's voice was rough. Tired. "Yeah, I've been watching the news." "Marcus, what the hell happened to you?" "I don't know." "That's not good enough." Danny sighed. "Mom called me. She's crying. Dad won't even talk. He keeps saying you disgraced the badge. That grandpa would be ashamed." Their grandfather. 25 years on the Chicago PD. Retired with honors. The reason Marcus became a cop in the first place. "Danny, I need you to do something for me. I'm not bailing you out. Not that. I need you to take care of Sarah. When this gets worse, and it's going to get worse, she's going to need someone." The baby. Silence on the other end. "You told her." Danny finally said. "Last night. Right before she kicked me out." "Jesus, Marcus. Just promise me. Please." "I promise." "But Marcus, you need a lawyer." "Like, yesterday. This press conference." "I know. Do you? Because from where I'm sitting, you're about to get crucified on national television, and you don't even have a plan." Marcus didn't have a plan. He had nothing. Just a motel room and a dying phone battery and the slow, creeping realization that his life was over. "I gotta go," Marcus said. "Marcus, wait." He hung up. Sat in the darkness. Outside, a siren wailed past. Probably one of his former colleagues. Responding to a call. Doing the job he'd never do again. By 6 a.m., the motel parking lot started filling up. News vans. Reporters. Someone had found him. Marcus peeked through the curtains and saw cameras setting up. A reporter doing a sound check in front of his room. Standing outside the motel where disgraced Officer Marcus Reed spent the night. Sources say he's inside right now, possibly preparing a statement. Disgraced officer. Just like that. 12 years erased. Reduced to 2 words. Marcus's phone rang again. "Lieutenant Davis." "Reed, where are you?" "Motel off Highway 9. There's reporters." "I know. Don't talk to them. Don't say a word. We're sending a car to get you out of there." "Back entrance. 5 minutes. Why are you helping me?" Davis paused. "Because despite everything, despite how monumentally stupid you've been, you're still one of mine. For now." But Reed, after that press conference, I don't know if I can protect you anymore. The line went dead. Marcus grabbed his bag and waited by the back door. 3 minutes later, an unmarked car pulled up. Officer Janet Torres was driving. She'd been with the department 8 years. Good cop. Never caused trouble. She didn't look at him as he got in the back seat. "Where are we going?" Marcus asked. "Somewhere you can watch the press conference without being found." Lieutenant's orders. They drove in silence. Torres kept her eyes on the road, jaw tight. Finally, Marcus couldn't take it anymore. "You think I'm a racist? I think you pulled a gun on a woman who was reading." Torres's voice was flat. "I think you forgot your body camera. I think there are 3 other complaints in your file that nobody wanted to talk about." "So yeah, Reed, I think you're exactly what that video shows you are." "I never meant." "Nobody ever means it." Torres turned onto a side street. "That's what makes it worse. You probably think you're a good person. You probably tell yourself you treat everyone fairly. But somehow it's always black folks who end up with your gun pointed at them. Funny how that works." She pulled into the parking garage of an abandoned office building. Led him up 3 flights of stairs to an empty office with a TV. "Stay here. Watch. Learn something." She turned to leave. "Torres." She stopped but didn't turn around. "I'm sorry." "Don't apologize to me. Apologize to them." She pointed at the TV. "If you can." Then she was gone. Marcus turned on the TV. It was 8:47 a.m. 13 minutes until the press conference. Every major news channel was covering it. Split screens showing the FBI building in downtown Riverside. Reporters speculating. Experts weighing in. Pattern of behavior that the Riverside Police Department allegedly ignored. Raising serious questions about accountability and oversight. Could face federal charges if the investigation reveals systematic civil rights violations. At 8:59 a.m., the press conference room filled. Cameras flashed. Reporters jostled for position. And then she walked in. Agent Diana Foster. Dark suit. FBI credentials visible on her lapel. Calm. Composed. Powerful. Behind her, 4 other people. 3 black men. 1 black woman. All dressed professionally. All looking directly at the cameras. Marcus's stomach dropped. He recognized 2 of them. Darren Mitchell. Raymond Foster. The complaints from 2019 and 2021. But the woman, that had to be Drive. Amara Thompson. The neurosurgeon. And the 4th man. Marcus didn't know him, but something about his face seemed familiar. Agent Foster stepped up to the microphone. The room went silent. "Good morning. My name is Special Agent Diana Foster with the FBI's Civil Rights Division. Yesterday afternoon, I was confronted by Riverside Police Officer Marcus Reed while sitting in my personal vehicle reading a newspaper. Officer Reed drew his weapon and pointed it at my head. He did not activate his body camera. He could not articulate a clear reason for the stop beyond a vague report of a suspicious vehicle." She paused. "Let that sink in. This would be troubling enough on its own. But what we've discovered in the past 18 hours is far more disturbing. Officer Reed has a history. A pattern. And today, I'm joined by 4 individuals who experienced that pattern firsthand." She gestured to the people behind her. Darren Mitchell. October 2019. Illegally stopped and searched. Complaint filed. Dismissed. Darren stepped forward slightly. His jaw was tight. Raymond Foster. March 2021. Detained outside his own home. Complaint filed. Dismissed. Raymond didn't move, but his eyes burned with something Marcus recognized. Anger. Justified anger. Dr. Amara Thompson. June 2018. Ordered out of her own home at gunpoint. Complaint filed. Mysteriously disappeared from official records. Dr. Thompson's expression was ice. Pure, controlled fury. And Marcus Williams. The fourth person. The one who's going to change everything. The fourth man stepped forward. Marcus leaned closer to the TV. Something about him. Agent Foster continued. Marcus Williams is not here because of a complaint. He's here because 22 years ago, when he was 16 years old, Officer Marcus Reed's father, then Sergeant Thomas Reed, arrested him for a robbery he didn't commit. Marcus Williams spent 4 years in juvenile detention. 4 years. For a crime he didn't commit. The real perpetrator was caught 2 years into his sentence, but by then, the damage was done. Marcus felt like he'd been punched in the chest. His father had arrested an innocent kid. Marcus Williams is now a civil rights attorney. And he's filing a federal lawsuit against the Riverside Police Department. Not just for his wrongful conviction, but for a culture of racial profiling that spans generations. From father to son. Sometimes the badge gets passed down. Sometimes the uniform. But sometimes what gets passed down is the poison that corrupts both. Agent Foster looked directly into the camera. And Marcus knew she was looking at him. Officer Marcus Reed, if you're watching this, here's what happens next. The FBI is conducting a full investigation into your conduct. Every stop, every arrest, every interaction, we will find the truth. And when we do, there will be consequences. Real consequences. She stepped back from the microphone. And one by one, the 4 people behind her stepped forward to tell their stories. Marcus couldn't watch anymore. He turned off the TV. Slid down the wall until he was sitting on the floor. His father. The man he'd idolized. The man he'd tried so hard to be like. Had done the same thing. Maybe worse. And Marcus had followed right in his footsteps. The pattern wasn't just his. It was inherited, learned, passed down like a family tradition. His phone buzzed one last time. A news alert. Breaking. Riverside Police Chief announces Officer Marcus Reed fired effective immediately. Not suspended. Not under review. Fired. It was over.